What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Reaper of Fear, your friendly neighborhood host, bringing you The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, Part 8, or Part 9 or 10, I do believe. So we're already getting up there, and why is that like that? There we go. There we go. Perfect. I don't like my sword on the other foot. Anyway, guys, hope you guys are having a good day. I know I definitely had a good day. It's really hot where I am right now, but hopefully that'll calm down a little bit. It is getting towards the end of August, and that means back to school time. So I know my little brother is not looking forward to going back to school. He is going to be a senior in high school, so big congrats to him. And I just was a senior in high school, so big congrats to me for not having to do anything. But anyways, a lot of stuff in the news today. It was pretty interesting actually. It was. Of course, whenever you see big stuff in the news, it's always the same other date. Oh yeah, blah blah blah, obelisk. It's maybe nothing extraordinary happened in your day, but someone's day wasn't as good as yours was. It's kind of hard to think about if you think about it. Like, while you were alive today, that a bunch of other people died, and that all sorts of bad things happened. And specifically, I can't say specifically, there's been so much stuff that's going on today. I've already know how to kill these things. But, first of all, Bradley Manning was convicted and sentenced to 35 years in prison, and will serve, and I think he's in his early 20s, or somewhere around there. He's pretty young, so he will get a life after prison. But I don't really consider that much of a life after prison if you're serving 35 years of your life. That's basically, really, that's pretty much half your life right there. That's half your life in prison. And all this guy was trying to do was make sure that people knew that people knew what was going on. And so he got sentenced to 35 years for trying to tell the truth for once, because Lord knows our government isn't good at it. And also, if you can hear the fan in the background, I do apologize, and I usually do turn it off for videos. That is my window fan, and it is so, I'm lucky I started recording my videos when I did, because there was a point where it was just brutal and I wouldn't have turned it off. But it is pretty hot right now, you guys, so I hope you can tolerate it if you can hear that. I did turn it down, so hopefully it isn't too bad. And we'll fuse some skin stones, and we're almost through to the thing. I'm gonna try to get a good portion of the way into the dungeon today, guys, so if you could leave a like rating for dedication and all that good stuff, my dedication, my fans. And I have noticed that my Godfather videos are getting the most views consistently, usually 4 to 5, and I think the second one has 6, the first one has 6, and the third one has like 4. And so I hope that the guys that are seeing them are enjoying it anyways, and that I can continue to bring those to you guys with no charge, of course, because if you had to pay for it, that would suck. And those ones, I do believe, I'm not sure, I haven't actually watched them, because I make them, and I do watch my videos sometimes, especially if I feel like I've been having like a bad day or something, and I need to quality check, because for stuff like this, it's a lot harder, because if I felt that I had just done a shitty job today, like if I was just like, oh my god, I've had a couple days where I've been a little embarrassed with the Legend of Zelda playthroughs that I put out, because it's live commentary, if you guys couldn't tell, and so there are some points where I do lull a little bit, and it's there's a bit of a lull, and I don't talk about anything, and it can be a bit of an awkward silence, I'm sure. So, and you guys are just kind of like sitting there going, when is he gonna talk again, or no, or should I just come back, go get ice cream or something? But anyway, so I do hope you guys have been enjoying all the videos. I do not have I do not know how the Godfather 3 videos work, though. They might be monetized, but I honestly have no idea, because they are all flagged for third-party third-party information, data, whatever. So, and I think that's for, because it always flags it as Michael Corleone, like as soon as he walks on screen. So I think, I mean, I can't draw any super duper conclusions, but I think that's probably the cause. So once I start seeing Michael less, then I know there will be, I mean, it does take me quite a bit, especially, and I really do want to keep playing through Tenshu Z, but if I feel that it's not going to get a ton of views or anything like that, I'll just not do it. I mean, or if it's just like not entertaining people anymore. So just be aware of that. But do give me feedback. I mean, obviously there aren't many of you at all, so it's kind of hard to judge. So I hope that you guys can forgive me, and hopefully live if one or two of my series goes away. Alright, here we go. And I do apologize if, I might end this video pretty quick for here. If you can hear the sound intermittently, it is because my girlfriend is messaging me. And I'm just going to respond to her real quick, tell her I am making a video, so hang on one second. Alrighty, here we go. Sorry about that. Just had to say that I was making a video. And so hopefully you guys don't hate me for that. Let's see what's in here. Kinstones! Yay, Kinstones. And she's such a good sport about this guy, guys. I mean, she really is. She's pretty amazing that way. Bitch, I will walk all over you. And I think those guys are armored, and you can't kill them. So, you know, whatever. Shrink. And she's such a good sport about my videos and stuff. She's very supportive. Especially because, I mean, she doesn't understand half of them because I talk about weird shit, but, you know. She's a good sport. Always supports it, and always is happy to watch them or do whatever. Get out of my way. Ow, ow, ow. Can you beat up? Oh, I can kill these guys. Okay. I didn't think I could. Oh well. Should have just cut that other guy. One sec. I'm going to minimize this Skype screen real quick. And, alright. And there's a lot of other big news in the BBC today. The Japanese Fukushima, the Fukushima crisis incident, whatever, has gone from a 1 to a 3 on the INAE level or something like that. It was something weird like that. But it was basically that there was a, I think most people know about, I mean, the 2011 earthquake in Japan and the tsunami that happened because of that earthquake. It was... Oh, okay, this is the... Okay, I know what this dungeon is. I get the mole myths here. But, it cracked the reactor and all that good stuff, and so the reactor started leaking radioactive waste, and it was just bad. And so they thought they were able to contain it, and they recently figured out that they weren't, that what they had done wasn't containing it, so they think 300 tons of water a day are leaking into the ocean, that's leaking into the ocean, and into the ground in Japan, so there are a lot of people at risk. And so basically the level that it is now, it's like if you were exposed to 5 years of radiation, like everyday radiation, in one day. So it is, I mean, it's hard, I mean, pretty much impossible to avoid radiation. I mean, everything is lesser or greater in terms of radiation. It only gets really serious once it gets up really high, and then it's known to cause gene mutations and scary things like that, and just all sorts of stuff to make people nervous. But I mean, it's definitely big news because Japan is so, I mean, they've had such a great track record with radiation and things like that. They've only had two increases in that scale. It's an international scale, and they've only had 2 increases, and those have both been from 0 to 1 and then from 1 to 3, and that was since the 2011 earthquake. So, I mean, they haven't had really a problem with it at all. And suddenly this is happening. Alright, I got 2 chests. Badass. 100 rupees. Yeah, money. 50 mysterious shells. So mysterious. Don't know what they do. Oh well. But, I mean, it is really a big deal. And after that, I saw that there was, apparently some guy was held 2 hostages in a school and had 500 rounds of ammunition and basically was threatening to start new... I can't even remember, that's so embarrassing. Sorry guys. And I was just watching the Colbert Report, Sandy Hook, the Sandy Hook shooting. Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe I just completely blanked on that, it's not like me. But, I mean, they were threatening to, I mean, I guess he was basically threatening to do that whole thing over again, so... I mean, it's good that everything was stopped, but, I mean, it's sad that it came to that for some poor guy, and for all those kids that were in danger, and I'm sure the parents were freaked out straight to hell, and... I mean, I get that some people, I mean, that some people are so broken, but it is really challenging to empathize with them when they don't get help for themselves, and all they want to do is put other people in danger. And so it's really hard to, I mean, probably everyone, I mean, no one wants to empathize with these guys because they threaten their children, or they threaten children in general, and all that stuff. And so I think a lot of what these people are painted as is just psychopaths instead of someone that might need help. And I know that it's really hard for people to think that these people just might need help, but I think it's always, instead of immediately labeling them as monsters, that doesn't help us at all, and to try to not empathize, but try to understand these people and their actions afterwards. I mean, for some things, I mean, you're just begging that there's a reason, just a reason that this happened. But I mean, a lot of the cases there aren't. There's no reason for anything to happen, like with Sandy Hook and stuff like that. But it happens anyways, and people are always desperate for that, for the explanation, and they can never get it because, I mean, if there isn't one to be had, then there isn't one to be had. And so I'm very glad that they avoided another catastrophe like Sandy Hook, and because I know that would have been a huge problem for this troubled nation that we live in, but also a huge trouble for any of the, I mean, it would just, my big problem with it is, what everyone wants to see is, or what, my mistake, sorry. What no one wants to see is another Sandy Hook to happen, but they also don't want, okay, I can't shoot a bow while I'm in that weird mode. Ow, ow, stop stomping me. But, I know a lot of people are afraid because, a lot of people are using the school shootings nowadays as gun control, and I used to be a firm advocate in gun control, that I thought that it was a great way to, I mean, I do strongly believe that there should be stronger gun regulations than there is now, but, not regulations, but just knowing who has weapons. And, I mean, if they're buying, like, thousands of rounds of ammunition a year, or a couple thousand rounds of ammunition in a day, there's definitely a reason to be concerned. I mean, that's scary shit, and I don't think that's anything to screw around with. And I think most people would agree with that. But I don't think that whatever these shootings are, should be used to, used to instill fear in people, because what happened with their children, or with their like loved ones or anything. I mean, some of these things just can't be explained, and so when people do these things, it's never easy to obviously the logical question is why, and I mean we don't have an answer for you, we're sorry. I mean, we can't tell you why that a guy walked into your son's school and promptly blew all of them away, but, I mean, I think Adam Lanza, the guy who killed all the children in Sandy Hook, I think he killed himself, but, the biggest thing I hate about, oops, sorry guys. The biggest thing I hate about things like that, about things like the Sandy Hook shooting, is all the misreporting. Really, journalism is such a disgrace now to our country. I mean, they were shoving microphones in kids' faces as they walked out, and the kids had no idea what happened, and so these reporters they showed up, and they're like, well, do you know what happened, and did you know anyone who got hurt? And these kids didn't have answers. They didn't have any goddamn answers. And I mean, one of the kids said that it sounded like hammer blows, like someone was smacking a hammer. And of course, all like the gun specialists and everything are like, well, no gun sounds like hammers and stuff like that. And it's like, the kid is like, just calm down. The kid is traumatized that some of his classmates are no more, and he's just saying what he thought it sounded like. Kids are so much different from adults. And so, I mean, it was hard to listen to these adults just rag on these kids, and to watch these reporters watch these reporters get up in these kids' faces and everything right after it happened, because they aren't paid to be empathetic, they aren't paid to be sympathetic, they aren't paid to be accurate, they're paid to get results. And that's the part that's really hard, for me anyways, that we aren't living in an accurate nation anymore, we're living in a nation that wants, not results, but, damn, how do I get down there? That's confusing. We don't want results, we want results, we don't want accuracy. To fie with accuracy, I guess. Fie on accuracy, but I mean, it's really hard. I mean, just these kids, this isn't what they needed. This definitely isn't what their parents needed or anything. This is the need for information, and the way reporters aren't paid to be the most accurate ones. They're paid to show up within like 5 minutes, like snap, crackle, pop, as soon as the shooting ends, and basically as soon as the shooting ends, or hopefully before it ends, because they think they'll be lucky then and get some really good footage and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just I know that journalism has never been a lucrative and truthful, but definitely it's lucrative, but not a truthful business. Oh, got a bit of a lag spike there, guys. Sorry about that. And I got another key. Good. But I think it's time that journalism steps it up a little bit, and going back to what I was talking about, all this stuff that's going to come out of this new school attack. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's a terrible situation, and I am in no means supportive of people like Bob Davis, who were just absolutely tearing into the Newtown parents because, I mean, he was losing his liberties, so they were bad people. That, yes, it was sad that you lost your children, but you shouldn't take away our liberties, our rights. And while it's easy to see his point, they're not taking away our rights. I mean, it's what he was really complaining about was that about the gun show, that now that if some things passed, that you would have to fill out a form on a gun show, and you'd have, like, there'd be people there that would check you out. Because right now, you can walk into gun shows and just purchase a weapon. It's that easy. Like, as long as you have, I think it's as long as you have a gun license, like a license to use a gun, then bing bang boom, you're in business. Congratulations. But what do we got here? Okay, I can't go in there yet. I'm on my way to get the mole mitts. But it is, I mean, it's just all this shit in the news nowadays. It's really hard to be an American citizen and feel hopeful for the future. I mean, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult. What else? Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta, oops. You didn't see my subscriptions. I'm gonna go back to BBC real quick, and because I want to talk about one more thing, and then I'm gonna go talk to my girlfriend for a bit, and then go to bed, because it's been a long day. Oh yeah, the one last thing that I wanted to talk about was the toxic attacks in Syria, and basically how unkosher that is, and how our governments will do nothing about it. And it's really sad, because after, they've always had regulations, okay? Ever since war, basically. I mean, they've always, what I mean is, the UN, what used to be defined as the Geneva Convention, okay? The Geneva Convention outlawed things that were used in war. And we, I mean, as long as it's what's happening in Syria right now. But the problem with that is, seemingly, as long as it stays within the country, its own country, it won't be investigated. And that's all I've seen. Okay, Syria has shown video proof, like they have videos of people dying and convulsing and gasping for air, and they're not getting any. Okay, I got a portal, and I accidentally shot an arrow because I'm trying to speed this up a little bit. But Syria, okay, what happened in Syria is that they, oh, sorry, my mouse was in the middle. They were shown, there was a video showing that the rebels or the opposition, or, I mean, it's always hard to tell, but someone had started using mustard gas, or not mustard gas, but it says toxic attacks. And so RPGs filled with some kind of gas were shot. Moments, yep, awesome. But, I mean, it's really awful. It's hard to hear about. And those things were outlawed by the Geneva Convention. I only know of a few things that have actually been completely outlawed for war. And those are the three-sided, one of them is the three-sided trench knife, which left giant holes in people, okay, in World War I. Once it got to the trenches, these guys would pull out, I think it was a German knife, and it was a three-sided blade. So basically it was like a railroad stake, but with three sides, and this thing would just leave giant holes in people, and they would be so messed up. It was probably some of the most disgusting war injuries that happened. And I know toxic gas has been outlawed. I mean, that one's obvious. Just no gassing your friends. So, and all these things have been outlawed, but Saddam mustard gassed his own people in Iraq, and we never investigated it, because it seems that as long as you're in your own country, I mean, it seems that you get a free ride. It's like, well, you oh crap. What are... Ah! Okay, disappearing wizards. This is quite alarming, actually. 80 mysterious... I don't think that was worth 80 freaking shells. But it's... I mean, it's just this stuff that you turn on the news every day, and I don't even know why I read the news anymore. I just find it terribly depressing. Yeah, I think I'm going to end it right there. I think this is a pretty long episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall record another episode tomorrow. I am hoping to have my full pretty much uptake taken care of for the next 2 days tonight, so I can go over to my girlfriend's house and stay there. So I hope you guys have had a good day, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and favorite and all that good stuff. Like it if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. And this is Reaper of Fear saying peace out.